everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla, the creator behind Ties Adorn Crochets & Co. And let me just start off by saying today is not a good morning. So it is actually like almost 6 a.m. I woke up this morning to find out that my video that's supposed to be releasing today at 2, today is Monday, January 12th. My Plushie Parade video, the first of its series, is supposed to come out today at 2, and I woke up to find the file corrupted. It did not save correctly. So I have to start all over. I am still waking up. Right before it's time to record, my son woke up. So yeah, this is going to be difficult. He is distracted right now. So hopefully he gives me like 30 minutes to make this video. This video was originally like 45 minutes long, but I think since I have to redo it, it's going to be a lot faster. So yeah, so I have a list of all the plushies I made and the creators. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 creators, including me. So there's me, Cheeky_Project, Casey Bell, Katie Did, and Gnome Creates. There's only 5 of us. Because I was dealing with the move, I didn't make a lot of stuff. And also, it's mainly my patterns because I'm trying to go through my patterns and fix them. So let's start off by what is Plushie Parade. Plushie Parade is basically what I crocheted for the past month. Since I was moving in December and like unpacking and everything, this is kind of from December and like the first half of January out. So yeah. So this is basically everything that I've crocheted so far. And it's going to be a series that I do every month. I won't be doing what I crocheted in a week. I don't plan on uploading weekly videos of what I crochet because some weeks I don't make anything. And then other weeks I make a whole bunch of stuff. So I feel like to take the stress off of me and to also make it so I stay more consistent when uploading, I decided to do different videos every month. So it'll make it easier for me. Uh-oh, here he comes. So if you see me cut, it's going to be because he's going to start bothering me. So yeah. So let's start with the pattern test I did. So I pattern tested Swablu, the plushie, by Cheeky_Project. You can find them on Ribbler, Instagram, and they have a Ko-Fi. I'll link their Instagram so that you could check them out. But here is Swablu. Everything is sewn on except for the wings and the tail. The tail and the wings are sewed into the rounds. Everything is supposed to be sewn on, but I just crochet them into the rounds instead of sewing them. I use sleepy eyes because I wasn't sure where all my safety eyes are, especially what size I needed. And I am still painting my safety eyes. So, and because I was still unpacking at the time, they actually wanted Swablu done in blue. But at the time, I did not have blue. So I asked them, I said, hey, I'm still unpacking. I can't find my blue. Is there any other color I could use that they were okay with? And they said gold. And lucky enough for me, I had just unpacked all my gold. So yeah. So this was definitely a fun make. It was fast. It took me like 45 minutes to an hour with distractions. Everything is sewn on, but like I said, you could crochet some of the stuff into the rounds. It's very easy to make, very fast. I would definitely like to make more, especially with the sleepy eyes. If I could find, well, like I said, I have my blue yarn. So once I'll probably take out my blue yarn and my fur yarn because they use like fluffy yarn for the wings. So I might actually do that and make a second one. Okay, next up on the list is this pattern is by Katie Did. It is her sitting dino. And I have a lot of patterns on Etsy that I've purchased and I have not made. I mean, I think a lot of us have a lot of patterns that we bought and never made, but I really want to try and make them all. So the way I do it is I kind of just scroll through my patterns, and if a pattern sticks out to me, I then look to see what color sticks out to me next. And if I feel like it would make a good dino, for example, I'll make that pattern. And that's what happened here. It happened. But then I also have to look to see if if I have safety eyes, that will also fit with the yarn. So it has to meet a certain criteria in order for me to make it. It's not like I could just see the pattern, grab yarn, grab eyes, and just go. I see the pattern, the yarn has to stick out to me. And then once the yarn sticks out to me, I look through my safety eyes of what colors I already have painted. And if I don't find safety eyes that go with the yarn, that pattern is not being made. Okay. I'm very difficult. Okay, on to the next, okay? So that right there was Katie Did. Next, we're going to look at Gnome Creates mini axolotls. I made 3 so far, but I've made these countless times. I think I made these about 50 times. And these are actually very fast to make. I mean, these are not like, let me lower the camera actually. There we go. So these are not like, these are stash busters because they're fast to make. But if you only have like a little bit of yarn, I wouldn't even chance it because that's what I did. And this one doesn't have a tail. It's like, it's not there. See? It's not there. I ran out of yarn like 3 rounds before I was done. So I kind of just had to like close it off. So yeah, but the way that this pattern works, and I'm going to see if I could show the correct one. So this one. So there are some color changes. It's only for, I think, 2 rounds, if I remember. But it's basically right here. Let me see if I could get it to focus. You basically color change to the color that you're going to be using for the fins and the in the tail part, so that when you surface crochet, it blends in fine. But I could honestly say, even if you don't color change, it's not that big of a deal. This one, I didn't do any color changes. I kept the body just one color and then surface crocheted. I'm going to see if I could get it to focus. And as you can see, it's not that bad. I was taking my nail polish off. So I'm kind of upset that in my original video, my nails were done and now they're not. So I can't believe the file got corrupted. But yeah, these are very fast to make. I sell these for $12. When I was selling them in the stores, I was actually selling them for, I think 15. No, one store I was selling for 12. The other one I was selling for 15 because one store took 40% and the other one took 50%. So I would change my prices so that I get what I wanted so that they still get their 40%, but I still get my 100%. And I've never had an issue selling. So imagine that. These stores were right next to each other. So like imagine going into one store and you seeing this axolotl for 12, and all it took was for that person to go into the very next store and see it for 15. I mean, it sucks I had to do that, but with the amounts they were taking for consignment, I mean, as long as I get my 100%, I don't really care. And they didn't either. I mean, one store was very picky about what they wanted. And the difficult part is that they wanted small stuff. Like the second store I started selling in, they wanted small stuff that were cute, quick, but they wanted 50%. They wanted my octopuses, the ones that I sell for 5, but they wanted 50%. So I was like, I'm going to have to charge 10. Who's going to want 10? Pay 10 for that octopus. So, yeah. I sold these for 12 and 15. Never had a problem selling them. Always sold out. And like I said, I've made like 50 of these. Because I would bring 12 to the first store and then like 5 to the other one. And I would constantly keep doing that. So, yeah. Mini axolotls, I highly recommend. Gnome Creates over on Instagram. I will have everything linked below. Next up, let's get into Casey Bell. We're going to save my patterns for last. Let's start off with the big stuff. And we're starting straight off with the black and white. And it's a Triceratops. Like I said, when I see the pattern, the yarn has to stand out to me. And as you can see, I just picked regular black eyes. I just want it to be generic, just a plain printer, black and white. So I absolutely love it. I definitely want to make more, but in different colors. There is some sewing, but this was fast to make. I have no issues with it. Only issue I had is that because my tension is a lot tight, is a lot tight. My tension is tight, so my bobbles were not lining up, so I did have to move them and stuff. But I have no problem with this pattern. I was thinking that maybe next time, instead of doing the bobbles right here, I would just go straight through with the natural color and then sew on the bobbles so that I could get them where I want them. But I'm going to try to do it as bobbles again and see if maybe I could just write down where I put the bobbles at so it make it easier for me. So that's one Triceratops. Remember, these all are from Casey Bell. Next up is a standing Triceratops. This one is from her Dino Duo. I believe it's a Triceratops and a Dino. And this didn't take me long at all. This used up the last of this type of yarn I had. I still have the secondary color. I'm actually going to be am I going to be using that? No, I'm not going to be using that. I decided not to. But anyways, I do want to make the other duo as well. So yeah, but I do have a few more Triceratops that I want to show you guys. Here we have the itty bitty Triceratops. These are free on Instagram. I did not know they were free. I bought it and then I went on Instagram and to go follow her and I saw that they were free. So, I mean, I have no problem buying them. At least I'll never lose it. These are extra cute. I like how the body is like chubby. Once again, my bobbles were not in the correct spot, but I was a lot looser with these ones only because they were small. I went up a hook size. I believe I used a 6.5. I normally use a 6.5 for a lot of stuff, but for my minis, I try to use a 5. I couldn't use a 5. Absolutely not. So, yeah, I made 2. I definitely want to make more. These right here are like a scrap yarn buster, like if you don't have a lot of yarn, you can make it with these. Next up, let me move some stuff around. Try to, I don't know if you could see it, but I have like a wire tray up here. That's what I have here, and I have everything in it. So next up is another Casey Bell pattern. It's her itty bitty dragon / dino. Only reason dino is because I turned one into a dino. So you'll see the difference in size, but these are the dragons. Cover my face so it stops blurring. These are the dragons. And as you can see, the green one is a lot smaller than the orange one. And that's because this one I used a 5mm hook. This one I used a 6.5. And this one, if you can realize it's in the middle, this one was a 6. And then this one, I used a 5.5. As you can see, I did not give it its wings. I didn't feel like giving it wings. I try to do like a different type of yarn for the little bubble thingies. And these are another one that if you only have a little bit of yarn, you could make these. These don't take a lot at all. So I highly recommend these and the itty bitty triceratops. This is also free on her Instagram. Like I said, I'll link everything down below so you could easily find her patterns. I highly recommend them. I'm just putting them away. And that is it for Casey Bell's patterns. Last but not least are my patterns. This is actually a lot faster. I'm at 17 minutes already. Usually by now, I was on like 30 something minutes. So next up, we have my patterns. I'm going to start by the one that is already out, which is my baby mallard. So this one, I went, like I was saying earlier, I was going through my patterns, finding mistakes with them and seeing what I could do to make them better. All my patterns, well, a majority of my patterns were made like a year and a half ago when I started writing patterns, and I decided to go back through them and see like if there's any inconsistencies with them. So every single time you crochet it, does it turn out the same or does it change some? And I noticed that some of my patterns, they do change over time. So I decided to go back through, fix them, remake them. This one, I made it a little bit bigger. I don't have any of them because I turned them into keychains and I sold them all. That's how small they were. But then again, it was Dollar Tree yarn. So I feel like if I made this again, it will come out small. But I also switched the wings. So they used to be bobble stitches and now they're actual wings, little tiny wings. I'm wondering if maybe I can make them bigger, but I like them the way they are. Another thing is with the beak, I just do the typical keep sewing around until it comes out the size that I want. But to help make it stick out, what I do is I go across the top and then I just pull extremely tight. So then it causes the top to sink in, causing the beak to stick out. So you should definitely give it a try. But yeah, so we have little baby mallard. Next up is we're going to do all the small so then I can organize it, is my itty bitty cat kitty keychain. So I did a giveaway from reaching a certain amount of followers on Ribbler, and one of the winners wanted a custom keychain for a cat keychain. So I made this cat, itty bitty kitty cat keychain, and it is completely no sew. I mean, there's nothing to be sewn onto it, but I also went back through and made a few changes. It was a lot smaller. I mean, then again, like I said, it was retro velvet yarn, which is no different from Dollar Tree yarn, in my opinion. And so it did come out a lot smaller. But what I did is I changed the ears and I added a few rows to make it so it's a little bit more rounder, but not round like a ball. So yeah, that's another one. And all my patterns, I'm not fully there this morning, guys. I'm already drinking coffee, but I did take all my patterns off of Ribbler, and I will be going through them, making them into PDF files, and putting pattern test out again so that I could make sure that my changes did not ruin the pattern and actually improve the pattern. So on Ribbler, maybe Instagram, I'm going to have more pattern tests going up just to retest my patterns. Honestly, I think that the retests might stick to Ribbler and the new ones will go on Ribbler and Instagram. We'll see. So yeah. So let's move on to my octopus patterns. Next up, we have my octopuses. So this right here is Hobby Lobby yarn. It's, if I had to compare it to another type of yarn, I would say it's like Bernette blanket. It is stiff. It's way thicker. And then this one is Sweet Snuggles light. So yeah, here he comes. And there he goes. So yeah, so I also made a few changes with this one. I did make it a little bit bigger, and yeah, not much I could say about the octopus, but I did change the way it looks. I don't have any of my old ones. I just went through it, and as I was making it, I was like, I kind of want it to be bigger, but not too big. I still want it to be a $5 item or an $8 item. If I use Dollar Tree yarn, it becomes a $3 item. Yeah. So I do have some in my whip bag that are unfinished, and they are way smaller. They would actually be up here because they're tiny. So let me put these away. Try to keep everything organized. Mallet goes there. Chain goes there. There. Next up is I have my mushroom boys. Now, I'm going to show you the original mushroom boy. I'm going to show you my original mushroom boy. My son is like in the like the kitchen area, and he's like, I don't know what he's doing. But this is my original mushroom boy. And as you can see, the hat like flips up, and I didn't like that. So I went back through. The body's not bad. It is chubby, and I feel like it's a little bit too long. So I'm going to move my mic real quick so I don't accidentally bang it. So you might hear a little bit of. I also want it away from the computer. So we have 3 more mushroom boys, and you'll see the difference in the hats, but here they are. So this one, I changed the hat, but left the body the same. You see how it's long? Like, it looks kind of long. So I ended up shortening the body. And this one, I made angry. So so last year, towards the end of last year, honestly, I would say probably around like October, I was putting eyebrows on some of my plushies, and they always came out angry. And I liked it. So I kept on doing it. So this one I made angry. I tried to do it with my baby mallard, but the eyebrows came out straight instead of angry. So that one was a fail, but it's still cute. And then I also have my angry ghost. Uh, and then I have another one I'm going to show soon. But last year, like I said, a lot of my Halloween plushies were angry and they sold instantly. The first store that I sell at, the one that took 40%, um, the theme of their store was like crystals and like witchy type stuff. Um, so I actually sold really well there, especially because I was the only crocheter in the store. And it's kind of sad that I left because they told me that because I was the only crocheter and that I did really well there, they had no intentions or on ever accepting another crocheter. And they told me, whatever you make, if you start selling it here, we won't bring anyone else in that sells it. So they know that I do multiple hobbies. I make candles and stuff. So if I started selling my candles there, no one else would be able to sell candles there. And I left. But then again, I didn't want to drive like an hour each way with the toddler. And I don't want to ship the items because then I have to make up the price for shipping the items. So yeah. But they did say if I ever want to come back, let them know. Um, he is active. He is active. It's going to be one of the mornings. But they did tell me that if I ever want to come back, just let them know. They haven't terminated my contract yet. Um, they're hoping that I come back. I'm gonna look. So, like I said, I don't plan on doing any markets this year or selling in any stores. I'm just focused on building my online presence. So, I'm trying to build my YouTube, my Instagram. So, on that note, make sure you subscribe. It will help me out. Um, so I'm also gonna start my Ko-fi up, and I'm going to try Palm Street to sell my plushies. I'm gonna see how that goes. If it doesn't go so well, I just might go back to that store and just ship everything, and then just make the difference in price. Or I might just go there every couple of months instead of every month to restock. So yeah. So now we're gonna move on. I showed everything except for my big items. Okay. So next up, I'm going to show my. Oh, careful. So next up, we have the cat loaves. So I went back through and I found some inconsistencies with my cat loaves. Depending on your attention, your ears might be too far to the right or they might come out perfect. So this is my cat loaves. As you could see, this one, the tail is longer. That's only because I got distracted, made it too long. And then instead of shortening it, I just said, oh, well, we'll just leave it as is. And then this one, there was no issues with it. But yeah, I did shorten the body some. It was longer. I didn't want it that long. I kind of want it to be like a little ball out. Okay. Oops. Um, Also, the eyes. Just so you know, these eyes were hand painted by me. And one thing that I do like is I've been using my dragon eyes on my cat loaves, or better yet, my cat patterns. And these are the dragon eyes. I'm gonna see if I could get it to not blur. Why did I pick purple eyes for an orange cat? I don't know. It looks good. It makes it stand out. I love it. Um, but you could see the difference. I'm gonna cover my face so I could make sure it's not blurred. But you could see the difference with the eyes and stuff, like dragon eyes or round eyes. I think that the dragon eyes look a lot better, but these are completely no-sew. The tail is crocheted into the rounds. The ears are crocheted as you go. And yeah, only sewing you have to do is the facial details, which I keep to a minimum because I have safety noses. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna be making a few more of these, only because, like I said, I have cat eyes. Next up is the very last pattern on the plushies on the list. Oop, don't drop. And I'm trying to keep them separate from the new stuff that I'm working on. Um, but yeah, so next up on the list, you've seen him already. It is Nova the cat, who is also angry. Um, this is the first pattern I am releasing of 2026, and it is Nova the cat in overalls. This is the first of a series that's coming out of different animals in overalls every month. What I did is I picked a vibe that I felt fit with each month, and then I picked the animal that would fit perfectly with that vibe, and that's just how I did it. So yeah, so this is Nova the cat, and here is his partner. So there are some differences, and let's start off with the ears. He has spiky cat ears with the color change. I gave her just round ears. Um, for the arms, he just has plain regular arms. I actually gave her paws, as you could see. And next is the tail. I obviously made hers a little bit shorter than his. So I did make a few changes. Um, this was my first try. This was my second try. I am in the process of making the third one for the tutorial. I have the foot, I have one foot, one ear, and one arm done. So when I do the tutorial, I don't have to make both. I could just make one, and then, yeah. So he's angry, she's not. Perfect match. Absolutely love it. Um, this tutorial is supposed to release next Monday, but what sucks is that because I was dealing with the move all December, unpacking, I never had a chance to pattern test, and I don't want to release this pattern without a pattern test. Um, I like having people's pattern tests in my photos to let people know that this pattern was tested. You could trust that the pattern works. So if I release this, none of that. But I mean, just because I made it twice and it came out fine doesn't mean someone else will make it and it will come out fine, if it makes sense. So what I'm gonna try to do is if I'm lucky, I'm gonna see if I could get the pattern test out by tomorrow and have it be due on Sunday and release the tutorial and the pattern on Ribbler, Etsy, and Ko-Fi on Monday. Um, if not, then I might have to push next week's video from Monday to Friday. Um, I just might have to. I mean, I'm trying to stay consistent with uploading every. I just like how I'm just swinging these around everywhere. But I am trying to stay consistent with uploading every Monday. But if I have to delay it, then I will. I mean, I definitely want my first pattern launch to be good. Um, and then I am also working on my Valentine's Day pattern, which is the next pattern in the series. So I'm also going to have to get that pattern test out either this week or next week for it to be released on the first week of February so that if people want to make it, they could make it for Valentine's Day. So yeah, that is We showed the cat in overalls, the mushroom boys, the octos, the kitty keychain, the cat loafs, the baby mallard, the swabble, all the triceratops. Okay, we showed everything. I'm not forgetting anything. So on that note, guys, thank you guys for watching. I will see you next week with the tutorial. Keep an eye out on Instagram and Ribbler for my pattern test for Nova the cat. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next week. Bye.